Well, hello and welcome to your next tutorial on XHTML, and today we're going to be discussing both background colors and background images. So let's figure out how to do this. So in this tutorial, I'm only going to show you how to do background colors and images for your entire website. So we'll only be messing with the body tags, but I want to make it clear beforehand that you can specify the background color or image of any other individual element as well. Even if you just, created a pair of simple p tags, you could just create a background image or background just for where the text in between here goes. Or if you had a table, if you had tables, we haven't learned tables yet, but for each individual cell on a table, if you wanted a different color or image to appear for each cell, that would work too. So I just want you to keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be the entire website. Or you could, just do different colors for everything or images, whatever you want to do. So let's figure out how to do this. So in your body tags, in order to specify a color, all you have to do is type in BG, which stands for background color, followed by, or background, followed by color, so it's just one word, equals, then two quotes. Then in between these quotes, you can type in whatever color you want. So let's go black. That's a common one. So I'll refresh the page, and there it is. It's all black. Let's try another one. Let's try brown. And, oh, there we go. Now it's all brown. That's more like clay or Adobe, if you ask me. I wouldn't quite say that's brown. But, whatever. But you can also use hexadecimals. Most people use hexadecimals because then you can really specify. Every color has its specific name, so there's lots of names out there. But why bother? Let's just go with the hexadecimals. When you're working with hexadecimals, make sure you have a pound sign first. Then I only know two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only know the 6 zeros and the 6 Fs. 6 zeros is black, as you can see, and then the 6 Fs should be white. Kind of pointless to show you the white, because if I make a mistake, then it would come out as white anyways, but those are only two that I know. But yeah, you can, if you find hexadecimal, you can use those as well. Now, what if you want to use an image? Well, instead of using background color, you just type in background for the attribute that you'll be accessing. Then it will be followed by the URL of the image. So my image file is in the same folder as my index file here, so all I have to do is just type in the name of the image. So smiley.jpg, and let's see how that turns out. Whoa. Well, that's making me dizzy just looking at it, but yeah. But yeah, you can just type in background the attribute, and this would be really good if maybe you just have one image, and it's like, I don't know, one of those 2400 by whatever, just something that would take up the entire screen of your of anybody's monitor. Like my monitor is huge; it's like 24 inches or something. It's a big monitor for a computer, so I can pretty much see outside of any kind of website normally. But anyways, yeah, just make sure you have a big image if you're just using one image and you don't want it to repeat. But there's another way that you can access this, and that's through an internal style sheet. Now, we haven't learned styles yet, so don't really freak out. I'm just going to show you just I'll just go through a simple explanation of what an internal style sheet is. So basically, when you create an internal or external style sheet, you always place them within your header tags to make sure that they're read first and applied first before anything in your body tags are. So let's just go inside our header, within our header tags here, and just type in style. Wait, yeah, I did it right. Okay. And then we have to address the type attributes. The reason why you have to do this is because there's, well, different types that you can have. So within our style tags, it's usually text, CSS. You'll see this again when we do JavaScript. When we create script tags, we use text/JavaScript. But yeah, I'm just getting ahead of myself. So in a style sheet, both external, if you're doing a separate, like this is what this is, but let's ignore it. That's an external style sheet up here. But basically, in order to access your tags, you just type in the tag name of whatever tag you want to have take effect. So if you just type in body, then basically everything that you put within your brackets, everything will be applied to all body tags. So of course we only have one body tags, but if you typed in like the P tags, then all your paragraph tags will then have whatever you have in here applied to it. So basically, then everything you put in here is basically the property of whatever style you want to mess with. So this is an internal style sheet, and here we messed with inline style sheets, where you would have style equals this, then you would have some sort of property, colon, followed by a value. So like if we did color, and then blue, then all text would become blue, right? So color is a property, and blue is a value. So basically, you just type in whatever you would normally put here for property, followed by the value. And just the same, you would put a colon there, and then you type in a semicolon to separate all the different things you want to change. But we don't want any of that to happen here. So the first thing we want to type in is, well, background image. And this one might be the most complicated one to remember, but it's not too bad. So you just type in URL here, so it's just a little funky. And then within your quotes, you type in smiley.jpg. So I'll click save, and I don't think anything should change. Yeah, there you go. I refreshed the page, nothing changed. So it still works. Well, what if you don't want it all to repeat like this? Because let's face it, this is a headache waiting to happen for all your users. Well, what you can do is type in background repeat, and then you can type in no repeat. So I think I spelled everything right. So if I refresh the page, now it doesn't repeat anymore. Another thing you can do is have the value repeat X or repeat Y. So if I type in repeat X, it should repeat along the X axis, which it does. And you can also have it repeat along the Y axis, as such. But I want to keep it as no repeat, just to keep things simple. Another thing that you can do is you can use the background attachment. So let me show that next. And there's pretty much two common values you can give it. You can give it scroll, which means if the person's scrolling, the background will scroll with it. Or another one is fixed, which means as you scroll, see how the text here goes up and down as I scroll? The image will be fixed. It's not going to move with the text. I don't really like fixed because, well, first of all, I can't really show you an example because I can't scroll my page here, but I like to keep it scroll. It's a pet peeve of mine. I like the images to scroll with it. I can actually refresh my page. There we go. And another one is background position, and I believe this is the last one I'm going to show you. So this wasn't too much in one video, right? This wasn't too much. Whoops. And basically what you can do is you have pretty much two different values here. I'll just whoops, wrong one. So basically this can be left, center, or right, and this can be top, center, or bottom. So basically when you save that, this is our default right here, so it just stayed where it was. And of course you can, for an example, make this center here, center top. And of course there's also right. I'll just show you the tops as such, but I'm going to put it back to left again. And well, actually I'll show you some examples, but first of all, another thing you can do, and the last thing I'm going to show you before this video is done, is you can also make these pixels. And basically what it does is tell you how far from right here to move the picture. So notice how the upper left corner of this image is at 0 pixels by 0 pixels. With this you can tell it how far from the left, so basically along the x-axis, to go over. So I could type in, I don't know, 50 pixels, and that shouldn't be much of a change. And then from the top, you also type in a positive number. If you're into math, then technically when it goes down, that's a negative number, but we don't do negative numbers. So if you want it to go 200 pixels down, so down the y-axis, you just refresh the page as such, and as you can see, it went over 50 pixels. There's 50 pixels of space here, and 200 pixels of space here. And that's pretty much it with background position. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.